In today's video, we are going to discuss about energy expended in an electric field. This is also physically explained as work done in an electric field. So before getting into physical explanation or mathematical expression for energy expended in an electric field, let us try to understand this concept in a simple way using an example. So I am going to take an example of someone swimming in a river. So if you are an expert swimmer, you can consider yourself as in this example. Okay, now see here the first figure, that is this figure. I have assumed that the flow of the river, okay, the flow of the river is in this direction, that is from your left to right, and the man or yourself is swimming in the same direction. So here what is going to happen? If you are a good swimmer and you are swimming in the direction of the flow of the water, so I am taking an example of river as I told. You are an expert swimmer and you are swimming in the direction of a flow of a river. So the effort required by you to swim in the river will be minimum. Agree? Okay, coming to the second case, where here also the direction of river is from left to right, but the direction in which you are swimming is from right to left. So here the direction of swimming and direction of flow of river is same. So here the swimming direction, which I indicate by yellow arrow, is opposite, exactly opposite to the flow of the river. So what happens here? You require that extra force which you have to apply so that you can swim against the flow of the water, right, against the flow of river. So you will feel the force now. Okay, now how we are connecting this to energy expended? Okay, now in this case we consider that you have enough energy in you and you are swimming in the direction of the flow of water. So if you are asked to swim 200 meter, maybe you can swim this 200 meter because you can save energy while swimming, because you are swimming in the direction of flow of water. If time doesn't matter, you may float on the water also. The water will take you towards your destination of 200 meter. But coming in the second example, you are asked to swim the same 200 meter but against the flow of water. So you will exhaust, right? You will start losing your energy. Maybe in this case you are able to complete this 200 meter very easily, and in this case you may exhaust when you reach half the way, maybe 100 meter. So what I intend to say is, in this case where you are swimming with the flow of the river, you are found to be gaining energy or you are reserving the energy. Okay, we call it as we absorb the energy, because the energy of water is supporting you, so you absorb that energy to swim farther. In this case you are expending energy because you have to swim against the flow of water, so you are losing your energy, right, and you are exhausting when you are swimming further. So with this example, what you understand is, if you are doing the work in the direction of the flow of water, you are going to gain energy, or you can do more work, or you can do positive work. If you are swimming against the flow of, or in the sense if you are doing a work against the flow of river, what is going to happen? Yeah, you are losing your energy and you may not complete the work as intended. So there is a negative value there. So energy exhausting is nothing but losing energy. So we call it as a negative work done. I hope this example is very clear. Now keeping this in mind, let us take this river as field and the swimmer as the charge. Let us see how we can mathematically express electric field. Okay. So let me consider an electric field which is generated from a positive charge and it is traveling towards some negative charge or infinity. So I will draw an electric field, okay, using flux lines. So this is my electric field. I am assuming that this electric field is from my left hand side to right hand side. So I have some positive charges this side and some negative charges this side, okay, as per the convention. So the intensity, let it be E vector. Now let me consider a positive charge Q at some point in this electric field. Let me mark that point as A, okay, for reference. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to push this charge, okay, or move this charge from the point A to another point in the electric field. An interesting fact is, I am going to keep this second point where I need to move this charge somewhere here, okay, somewhere here, and I am naming it as point B. So my intention is now to move the charge from where it is, that is from point A to point B, okay. So that direction is some arbitrary direction and you got that I am going to move it in some direction opposite to the field, because field is from left to right, and I am going to move it in some arbitrary direction, and obviously I need to apply some force, then only this Q I can take it from that particular A point to B. Otherwise what is going to happen to Q? The force will be in this direction, right? The force will be in this direction because electric field is in this direction. This Q will have a tendency to move in this direction. So I am holding that Q and I am pushing it in this direction to reach B. So I am moving this for a small distance to reach B. Maybe I can consider that this as the path of movement. Okay, I will consider a straight line path. I will not complicate things. Okay, I can move it in this way also. But I will consider a straight line path from A to B and consider it as a very small distance. Yeah. So this is the path of the movement and the distance is maybe a small path. Okay, let me call it as delta L. That's fine. Okay. In this case, what will be the direction of the force? The direction of the force will be in the same, right, from A to B. So the direction of the force or the force vector can be represented, okay, in this direction, that is in the same direction. So this is my force. Okay. Now in that case I have a charge Q, I have electric field and I have represented the force also. Now by the definition of electric field intensity, can I find the expression for this force? A big yes is the answer, right? Because we already know that electric field intensity is defined as force upon charge. The force experienced by a unit positive charge can be treated as electric field intensity. So electric field intensity is nothing but F by Q. From that I can easily get what is F. F is nothing but magnitude of my charge multiplied by field intensity. So F is QE. Okay. Now listen. This force is in some direction. Okay. But you know that I am doing work against the field because field is in this direction. So if I am doing work in this direction, okay, it is with the field. Okay. At any direction like this, any random direction like this, I say that I am doing work, okay, with the field. Even though I am opposing the field by some angle, I say that I am working in line with the field, The moment, okay, till it is vertical. The moment you start slanting this side, means Moment you start moving in this direction, I say that I am doing work against the field. That is the physical idea. Okay. So that when I'm considering the force against the field, it's always better to resolve this force component into two components, right? Vertical component and horizontal component. So that is for mathematical simplicity. We always do that as engineers, right? So if you resolve this component and try to find what is my vertical component of force and horizontal component of force, in this case, which force you will consider? I'm happy to consider, okay, the force which is exactly opposite to the field, that is horizontal component of this force. So I'm going to study what is the work done or what is the force exerted by considering the horizontal component of the force which is exactly opposite to the field, because this will give me a sense of what is the maximum force required against the field. Fine. Okay, so let me, okay, now one more point is this particular path which I have chosen is at some angle with this electric field. In the sense, electric field is in this direction. If I consider the electric field as the horizontal value, okay, as my reference, then this path is at some angle with that field. Okay, so that also I can notate. So if I draw an horizontal value here at the point A, then it is making an angle theta. The path is making an angle theta. So that the other angles is the remaining angle, right? This angle is 180 minus theta, because this total angle will be 180 degree. So if this is theta, this will be 180 minus theta. So let me write that. This is 180 minus theta. This has to be clear. Okay, so I consider that my angle is, my path is inclined at an angle 180 minus theta with respect to the field, or theta with respect to the field, anyone. Okay, now as discussed, let me consider the field components, the vertical component, horizontal component. Okay, so this is my vertical component, this will be my horizontal component, and I am interested in horizontal component as discussed. So let me name it, let it be f dash. Okay, some name. I am giving this horizontal component name as f dash. Now you can see that this angle is 180 minus theta. So this angle, the angle made by my horizontal force component with the actual force also should be same, right? 180 minus theta. That is from symmetry. From symmetry it is very clear. This is also 180 minus theta. Now can I represent this f dash with respect to f? In the sense, can I write an equation for f dash with respect to f, okay, with reference to this angle 180 minus theta? It is possible, right? Mathematically possible. If I consider this as a completed triangle, okay, this side and this side is what I am interested in. So I will go with cosine. So cosine of 180 minus theta can be f dash by magnitude of f, because f dash is considered as magnitude. Okay, so this magnitude, this side by this side will give me cosine. So from that I can easily write what is f dash with respect to my actual force f. So what I am doing is I am considering f dash, which is the horizontal component of the actual force, which is exactly opposite to my field. So I am interested in the maximum force which is required by me, okay, to push this charge from point A to point B. That's why I am learning only horizontal component. Hope that is clear. So going with that explanation, I can easily write f dash as my actual force magnitude, okay, multiplied by cosine of angle, that is 180 minus theta. Hope this is very clear. Till here it is very clear. Okay, now the work done from physics, okay, the work done is given as or expressed as force into displacement. That is my work, right? Work done is force into displacement. We know that. So here, since I am considering this path to be very small, I also assume that the work done is very small. So I represent it by delta W. So delta W will be force into displacement. Nice. Force into displacement. Now which force? So here I told you that I am considering the horizontal component force, okay, which is exactly opposite electric. So my force here is f dash into displacement. What is the displacement? Yeah, it is delta L. So I get force into displacement. is my work done. So now my job is just to substitute these discussed values into this equation and try to find an expression for delta W. So delta W, what is f dash? F dash is nothing but f cos 180 minus theta. Let me substitute it there. So I get delta W as f cos of 180 minus theta multiplied by my displacement. So I write it in a better way. F cos of 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So I can write it as f minus f cos theta, okay, delta L, minus f cos theta minus delta L. Okay. Now see here, this f represents magnitude of this force, right? Is it not? This f is from the triangle. So this is hypotenuse of the triangle and this is magnitude of the force. So this f represents magnitude of force, and here you see I have an expression for f vector. F vector is QE vector. Okay. So I can write magnitude of S as Q into E. So substituting that, I get f, okay, but delta W as QE, that is minus QE cos theta delta L. Okay, so this is my delta W. Now looking at this, what is minus QE delta L cos theta? So if you remember definition of dot product, E dot delta L can be written as magnitude of E multiplied by magnitude of L and cosine of angle between them. Is it not? See here, this is my delta L and this is my E. Okay, so E dot delta L can be represented as, right, E delta L cosine of angle between them. What is cosine of angle between them? Theta. So I have here cos theta. So E delta L cos theta can be written as E dot delta L. Right? So I finally write my work done as minus Q, okay, minus Q E vector dot delta L vector. So this is the expression for energy expended or work done in an electric field. Now you should be able to infer why this is negative. Why the work done is negative. So you have to remember the example which I have just told at the beginning of this discussion, that is the swimming example, right? So here what is happening is you are moving against the field. You are moving against the field. So what is happening when you are moving against the field? Your energy is lost. You are losing energy. Okay, if you are moving something like this, you will absorb energy from the field. Now this plus Q, that is the charge, is losing its energy when it is trying to move in this direction. So the losing energy is represented by negative sign. That's why my work done becomes negative. So I have mathematically proved why this is coming as negative, and now you know theoretically how to infer why this is negative. So this is all about work expended in moving a charge, basically, okay, a positive charge in an electric field, which is nothing but a small work done given by equation minus Q E dot delta L. Thank you for watching.